Hey guys, welcome back. So guys, in this video, we are going to learn about PHP oops, where we are going to insert the data into a database using object-oriented programming in PHP. So guys, now let's get started. So as we have seen that in previous video, we have done with setup with one admin panel. Okay. So now guys, let's move to our student, and here if you'll find add student. So let's click over here, and here's the URL add student.php. So now let's create a CRUD application for this student record. Okay. So we are use only four input fields like name, email, phone number, and his course. So guys, let's begin with it. So first let's copy this page name and URL, and then create a file inside the admin folder. So yep, created, and let's include all the headers and footer from our dashboard. So let me copy all the code from here and paste here. So now let me just remove unwanted codes. Okay, so here will be our student add. So now let's create one row and a simple column md12, and inside that one card and one card header, and inside that h4 will tell student add. Let's make this h4 instead of h1. And now let's create a card body, where inside this card body I will start with the form tag. So let's begin with form, and the method is equal to post. And yep guys, over here let's create on margin bottom 3 a simple label for the full name. So full name, and one input field dot form hyphen control, where this input name will give full name. All set. And now you can just copy and place full name. Then let's move on with email ID and the course and the phone number. Okay, so let's change this phone number, and now let's edit the input attribute field names. So name, and this will be your phone. All set guys, and let's make all these fields as mandatory. So I'm going to add a HTML validation part, and now a simple button. So yes, let me create one button where we'll tell save student, and the button name, let me just zoom it. Okay, type is equal to submit, name is equal to save student, and the class is equal to button primary. So done guys, our form is ready, and now let's see the output for this. Now refresh. Perfect. So we have got this, but we have missed with the CSS. Let us fix that. Okay, here's the div. We have one extra div. Let's remove that div. Okay, all set. Refresh. Done. So now guys, let's continue to save the student data. Okay, we have already the heading. Let me just remove this title. We don't require it over here. So yep, and just add a margin top 4 over here. Working fine. And now guys, let's begin inside the form. Let's write one codes folder. I want to create a student code because this is the code of student. Okay, so let's copy this and create one folder inside our admin folder. So that will be codes, and inside this code I want to create a student code.php. Okay, so whatever about create, edit, update, delete, everything we are going to write the codes over here. So first step guys, now let's, when you click the submit button, you are taking this save student and going to this file. So let's move over there, and over here you're, yep, and let's check out with the if condition. is set function dollar underscore post method of your button name. So yep. And now guys, over here you are going to bring all your input fields data. So for that, let's take one data is equal to where you are going to validate all the input fields. So what validate input field you are going to do? That is, you are going to escape all the SQL injections. So I have created one validate input function where inside this we have to pass the DB connection and your dollar underscore post method of your input field. So what is the input field we have created? Full name, email, course, and phone. So in that way we are going to take. And what about this validate input field where we have created this? We have created this in a app.php. So let's move to config folder here, app.php. We have that validate input field function. Okay. So this is nothing but just we are using a real escape string. You can directly use over here if you do want to use this method. Okay, so now I'm using this validate input field, so we have to include this app.php file. Okay, so let's include that include function where one step back and second step back and then go to your config folder and call your app.php file. All set. So inside this you have your database connection and your session start. You can see guys over here the database connection and the session start, all the things are set. Site URL and redirection of page. So all things I have set over here. If you want to know how this is working, please watch the part 1 and link given in the description. Okay, so let's get back. Yep guys, and now let's continue over here. So let us keep this in an array format. So let's learn like something advanced type. So you can create an array over here and take that value full name in a in this format. Okay, so now let's copy and paste. Next was your email, and then next was the phone, and one more field was course. Done. And now you're going to call your object oriented programming over here. So let me create one variable called student is equal to where new student controller. Okay, so I want to create this. Now we have to create this file. So for this you have to include once. Let's include that student controller include once, which I want one step back and go and create one controllers folder and student controller .php file. So first let's create a controller inside the admin folder. Okay, so this will be these controllers are for the admin, so let's create inside the admin only. So outside was for another purpose which we have created in previous past videos, and here we are going to work on for admin things. Okay, so yes guys, let's copy this and create a student controller. All done. Yep, let's open PHP and close PHP, create a class with the name student controller and open and close curly brace. Now let's create a function. So public function with the name create function. Okay, and inside this create function you will get the dollar data. All set. So now what you are going to get over here with this, how can you call this function? So let's go to our code, student code. Over here you are creating the object. Okay, let's is equal to student of create function. Done. And inside this create function you are getting this dollar data. Let's make this as input data. Okay, so this will be very clear to understand. These are your input data you're passing from here. All set. So now let's go to our create add student controller create function. Let's copy this and move. You are getting your input data, and now let's get all the input data and explode them. So explode means like we are going to separate them by array into string we are going to make. Okay, so we will be using like your data is equal to first double quotes, and inside this we are going to start with single quote and close that, and here also you are going to close that. All set. And now let's concatenate this, where we are going to use implode function. Implode function, so which is more clear, and inside this guys you are going to get your input data. So you just need to create double inside single quotes, let's separate them by comma. Okay, and then you are going to get your input data, so which will display you all the details. So I'll just echo and show you this once. So dollar data. Okay, let's echo this, and here dollar result echo. So let's get back, refresh. So I'm going to add random data over here, save student. You can see that it's coming perfect. Okay, so we are getting the correct values. So this is the way we want to get the data. Let me just show you one correct detail. This is full name, email, course, and this is number. Okay, let's save. Here you get the data. So make sure you're getting in this format only, so we don't need to write the code again and again. Okay, so let's comment this and let's get back to our student controller over here. Let's comment this for the reference, and yep guys, let's write the student query is equal to, where we are going to type insert into table name. So my table name is students, where the column fields and the values, what values you are going to take, we have decoded that, right? So we have converted that those values, and directly we are passing as dollar data. So all the code will run correctly. And over here we are going to tell that is full name. So make sure you are adding the columns according to your input. Okay, so first is full name, next is email, then is phone, and then is course. So let's add like that. So full name, next is email, then is phone, and then the course. Okay, so phone and course, done. So the same format should be in your input also, so it can store the data correctly, or else it will store for email, it will store course, or phone for full name. Hope you understood this. And now let's create a student table guys first over here. So let's get back to our database. Okay, so let's create one new table. So yep, students, and I want total record to be 1 2 3 4 and 5. Let me just add one more row. So one is for the id, let's id integer, and it should be 11, and I want this to be a primary key and auto incremented also. Let's go and select for the auto increment. Here we move and select with the full name, varchar and 191. Next was what we have created, email. So let's get back, email, varchar 191. Next was phone. So phone, let me take it varchar only, and here minimum 20, and then you're the course. So let's take this course and select with varchar and 191. Done guys. So now let's save it. Perfect. So our student table is created. So make sure you are having the correct input name as you have given in your code. Done. And now let's execute the query. So let's tell dollar result is equal to dollar this of your connection of your query. So from where are you getting this dollar this connection? So you have to get from your database guys. So for that you need to include your database over here. So public function underscore underscore construct method, and let's include the database. So $db is equal to new database connection. Oops, database connection, and dollar this of conn connection is equal to dollar database I mean this object, dollar object of DB. Inside that we have given a connection. All set. So this database connection will work on this code because we are calling the student controller inside this, right? And here you have included the file that is going to call your database connection. So which means this connection. Okay. So this is called in your app dot and this file is called into your student code. All set. And now let's execute the query over here. Whatever we have given that student query, done. And now let's check if it is success, means your like if result is true, return true, else return false. Okay, so on this basis what you're going to do, if it is true means you will check back over here. Let's use this. If your query is true, then you're going to redirect with the message student added successfully, and then you will tell you're going back to which page. You'll move back to your index page, I mean student page, this page itself. So let's copy this path, admin slash student add.php. Done. Let's copy and give a else condition over here, and let's tell that something went wrong. All set. So now guys, to check this redirect, we have already in app.php. All set over here. As you can see, one is the message and one is the header location. So now over here we want to show the message and add student.php. So let's move to add student.php and show the message. So just wanted to show inside the column. So what you have to do, you have to include your file, that is message.php. So let's include that, include message.php. So where is this message.php? You can find that over here. So outside the admin folder. So your student add, let's go one step out and then call that file. So you need to make one step out. That's it. So yep guys, and we have to include that app.php to work that. Yep. And now let's try to save the data into our database using object oriented programming in PHP. So yep, let me add student name as Varun, Varun at gmail.com. His course is BCA and phone number, some random digit. And let's save. Click student added successfully. Let us check the data into our table. So yep, let me refresh. Perfect. So we have successfully saved the data into our database using object oriented programming in PHP. So let me add second data, Om Prakash, where om at gmail.com, BCA and some random phone number. Save student, student added successfully. Let's refresh. Cool. Let's browse and boom. So guys, we have successfully stored the data into our database in a student table. So guys, we have successfully completed with insertion of data into our database using object oriented programming. So guys, let's see in next video with the new topic of fetching the data using your object oriented programming in PHP. So thank you for watching this video guys. Please subscribe, like and share.